Hey YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie Clark, Nuts for Art. Thank you for coming back to my channel and thank you for watching my videos and subscribing. Please subscribe. We want to grow our market, so to speak. And yesterday I did not post. I had intended to, but I ended up doing slave labor all day. I helped Kevin Finnegan move some furniture, and then I moved some furniture. It just ended up being basically a day of slave labor. I wanted to come back to you, though, and in talking about the nuclear taboo, this man, Larry Bergen, was briefly mentioned in the movie Safe Side of the Fence and the First Secret City also. And in fact, if you have not seen those documentaries, please go look at them. They're about St. Louis. He was not in St. Louis. He was in this little town across the river, very close to St. Louis, though. They're very, very close. He was working at a factory for 10 years. And basically, he ended up getting, this was him at work. I want to show you. He sent me these whole packages. This was him at work when he was healthy. And then all of a sudden, this happened to him. Like, what the heck? He started breaking out. Like, he got really sick. And the company wouldn't tell him anything. Turns out that the machinery he was working on had processed uranium during the Manhattan Project. And all they wanted was to know their rights. So he has interviewed with me on my radio show. You can go back and listen to his interviews. I'd like to get him back on. I think he's kind of sick of talking to me about the same old thing. I'm always fascinated by it, though, because this is the nuclear taboo. This is what happens when you get exposed to uranium. And look where it shows up. You're not going to see that on people's bodies. People are not going to walk around saying, wow, man, I got these weird rashes from being exposed to nuclear contamination. Nobody's going to say that. Just like this, and I'm going to share with you this because I'm going to screen share. I found something that I've been thinking about. I was thinking about this nuclear taboo. It's the concept of the nuclear taboo. I think that's it. I believe that's it. Hold on. I think that's it. But I can't see. I got to put my double glasses on. I know I look like, yeah, Seaborn Fukushima. Check this out. Oh, by the way, I have to go back and then remember to share with everybody. Hold on. There we go. Now I can go back to it. And I have to go back to the screen. Where is that? It's here. The blob. Okay. So this also. So remember when we said that there was this Fukushima plume headed our way after Fukushima? They said it was going to come to the West Coast. It was going to hit the coast around 2015. And this story was written by Truth Dig, December 31st, 2016. It's a pretty current one. So listen to what they say. This is such a great story. It is not a question anymore. Radiation produces cancer, and the evidence is good all the way down to the lowest doses, said the late Dr. John Goffman, Professor Emeritus at the University of California, Berkeley, in his book, Nuclear Witnesses, Insiders Speak Out. Wow, that's a book I need to get. Oh, let's make a copy of that. And then it goes on about the usual blah, 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 because I was remembering that we had this plume that was coming by. Then they called it this. The Pacific blob appears to take a toll on Alaskan cod. Right? So this is just very recently. The blob. They're calling it a blob. And check out this. They're shocked. They're completely shocked. This is stunning. I find this completely stunning that these industries cannot speak to each other. This is the nuclear taboo. This is so outrageous. You know, Kevin Blanch for all the bullshit. And Kevin and I were personally involved, and we parted ways amicably. I never said that Kevin wasn't a great activist. I just can't. His style is too harsh for me, I guess. He calls me a panty waster, which I don't really understand, but I do wear panties, so that's okay. But anyways, I mean, this is the thing. This is why the misogyny goes hand in hand. That's why I'm opposed to it. This is all about the secrecy, the things we're not going to talk about, the things we just, like what they say about Roy Moore. Well, we all knew he dated young girls, but nobody would say anything to him. You just wouldn't say something like that because obviously he knew it was wrong. The guy knows it's wrong when you're 32 years old to be going out with a 14-year-old child. And actually, he wasn't. He was a sexual predator because the girl, if you read her story and read everything, and good for the Post for talking this girl into coming out public, in this woman to coming out public about what happened to her when she was a girl. I'm all about that because this is how it's going to end. When people are trained on how to be better. This is why I love, honestly, I am so grateful that I started my radio show because I get to meet people like this man, like Larry Bergen. I'm going to show you more of his stuff right now. So hold on. I think you guys can see me. Yeah. This was them protesting. This is after they found out. All they really wanted to know was the truth. That's all. That's all they wanted to know. Look what Larry did. He is so thorough. He listed it all. I've shown this before because it still stuns me. This is a man who does not have a computer, by the way. He doesn't own a computer. He's done this all by hand. They don't have internet. If he had a computer, it wouldn't do him any good. They can't afford to pay for internet because they're living like church mice. He is such a good person, you just cannot even imagine. This is the town hall meeting. The thorium-232 ranged from 9% to 100% and averaged 45%. All averages were below guideline limits. Uranium-238 surface contamination ranged from 10% to 1,360% of the guideline limit and averaged 250% of the guideline. That's what he was exposed to. And it has made him very sick. He suffered quite a long time. He's still suffering. His whole family is suffering from this. Concentrations of radionuclides. This is what has happened to many people across our nation, folks. This is the nuclear taboo that we cannot talk about. Just like we're not supposed to talk about what Judge Roy Moore did when he was younger, because he was younger. And you know how young men, they sow their wild oats raping children. Is that allowable? No. Here's a letter from the White House. He got a letter from Barack Obama. So Barack Obama knew all about this. Mr. Larry Bergen, thank you for writing. We are living in a time of extraordinary change and possibility, and I appreciate your perspective. Boy, this letter would make me spit nails. So then he got one on what date? May 11th, and this is March 30th, okay. Through trial and triumph alike, America has always overcome challenges and emerged stronger because we come together as one people. The progress depends on individuals like you who seize the responsibility of citizenship by speaking out on issues that matter to them. This is the spirit that built America, and together we can build a future, even greater opportunity and security for generations to come. Thank you again for writing. I will keep messages like yours in mind, and I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Barack Obama. And then this is dated May 11th, National Institute for Occupational Health and Safety, from John Howard, ND, Director. Dr. Larry Bergen, thank you for writing. Thank you for your letter to President Obama concerning the addition of skin cancers to the list of specified cancers under the Special Exposure Cohort, SEC, of the Energy Employees Occupational Illness Compensation Act of 2000. Wow. Your letter was referred to my office for a response. The statutory definition of specified cancer can be found in EEOI CPA at 42 U.S.C. 73-841-17. Because the list is part of the EEOI CPA statute, it can only be changed by Congress. I hope this information is responsive to your concerns. So that means that we need to lobby Congress to get this done. Now, I'll bet you 2-1 Larry Bergen knows all about that. So we will ask him about that. Excuse me. So we've only got a few minutes left because I don't want to go on for too long. Since I'm going to be doing this every night. Just want to show you, what's this? Meltdown in Venice. Riverfront Times. Keegan Hamilton. Look at how great Larry sent me this information so you can easily see it. Wow. And then here's the first secret city. In fact, you should go to the First Secret City's website. It's fabulous. That is such a great, I honestly, there's so many, the thing is, like even the movie Crying Earth, Rising Up, like that, it's all about the victims of these nuclear issues, right? We can be talking about it and all we want, but is there any response by Congress whatsoever? Really responsibility? Right now, my teacher told the students of our class that the generals are reporting we're more than 50% chance of going to war because we have President Trump as the president. And it's because he doesn't understand the gravity of what that means. He really doesn't get it, and he thinks it might not be that bad. They are intent on it, in fact, it seems like. And I think that's the only natural response. You know how long Larry has been fighting this? A long, long time, you guys. A very long time. What was the date of this? 1989, February 17th, 1989. Every day, the legacy of St. Louis nuclear waste. Written by Carolyn Baker and Louise Rowe and Teresa Teig of the Post-Dispatch staff at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. St. Louis Post-Dispatch is the best newspaper to report on nuclear waste and nuclear stuff. They get more in their newspaper than anybody I've ever seen. It's really great. But this is, I'm going to do another show on just this too. So I'm going to end here. But I'm coming to you, I guess, every night thinking about this nuclear taboo. It's not just about the nuclear war, folks. It's about all things nuclear. I was going to share with you a pro-nuclear site, but I honestly cannot do it. I cannot honestly, in my heart of hearts, it's like talking about the name of the murderer on television. I'm just not going to share you their information. Their thinking is limited. They do not believe these facts. I'm going to go here too, and I'm going to share. I'm going to go find this John Goffman's page, and here, because this guy talks about John Goffman, what John Goffman's studies actually said. So I'm going to share this really quick, and then we'll end. Oh gosh, I think that's it. Yeah, Seymour Fukushima. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's the Truth Dig page. Okay, and then I still have to come back. Sorry about this, guys. I have to come back and share with everybody. There we go. Yay. Okay, let's go to this. Here's the blob. Here's the Truth Dig story. Look what they say here at Truth Dig. They quoted John Goffman so well. That's why I kept this story around. Because this is what we are ignoring with all these pro-nuclears. The benefits are not that bad. You know, the harm is just not that bad. Listen to what this says. There is no safe level of radionuclide exposure, whether from food, water, or other sources, period, said Jeff Patterson, DO, immediate past president of PSR in late March of 2011, in the immediate aftermath of the meltdowns of Fukushima. Exposure to radionuclides such as iodine-131 and cesium-137 increases the incidence of cancer. For this reason, every effort must be taken to minimize the radionuclide content in food and water. There is no safe dosage of radiation, said Professor Edward P. Radford, physician and epidemiologist, as quoted by Green Med Info. So this is the thing. We know that it is harmful. Cesium is similar enough to potassium, it can fool the body. This results in its bioaccumulation. When cesium enters the biological system of a fish, which is then eaten by a larger fish, the larger fish becomes contaminated. As the larger fish eats more, it becomes more contaminated. The cesium accumulates in its body. When a person eats that fish, he or she ingests the cesium that hasn't decayed or been excreted. The more seafood that person eats, the more radioactive materials he or she will be exposed to. So why are people still eating fish? This is so ridiculous. And here we have this. The blob appears to have taken its toll on Alaska cod. Thank God they're dead. People can't even eat it, at least. I mean, and people are still saying, oh, well, we can still eat it. The huge blob, largely residing from the blob, a huge influx of warm Pacific Ocean. Yeah, it's warm. Pretty warm when you kill off all the micro life in the ocean and it just sits there and decays and gets warm. For goodness sakes. And there is never a word about Fukushima. Now, what is going on in Fukushima? Can we find anything anywhere? No. Talk about the nuclear taboo. Let's just do this. Fukushima news. And what's today? November 12th, 2017, huh? There. Now, Japan Times, Fukushima, #1, 21 hours ago, installing. Oh, here we go. Here's some news. Do you want to hear me, Chukako? I don't. And there's Kevin Blanche. You know why? Kevin Blanche is the only one. He puts Fukushima news on here. Maybe that's what I should call this. Fukushima nuclear blackout. I bet you it would get picked up more. TEPCO starting to install a device to remove fuel assemblies at wrecked Fukushima. Look at how sweet and clean they say that is. This is not a picture of Fukushima, folks. The unit crippled is seen Sunday at work, begins to install. Unit 3 at the crippled Fukushima #1 plant is seen Sunday as work begins to install equipment to remove fuel assemblies from the reactor storage pool. So they're trying to tell us this is what it looks like. That's what they're saying is over there, that they're not showing us anymore. We have no pictures anymore. There's no more video feed to this bullshit. Okay. So this is what it is. Let's see them. Let's see what they say they're going to remove. Okay. TEPCO Electric Power Company Holdings, Inc. on Sunday began installing equipment to be used for removing fuel from the storage pool at the reactor at its disaster-crippled Fukushima No. 1 plant. The equipment weighing 72 tons was lifted up to the upper part of the plant's No. 3 reactor using 2 large cranes. The pool, located on floor 36 meters above the ground, holds a total of 566 spent and unused nuclear fuel assemblies. TEPCO plans to begin removing the fuel from the storage pool in the middle of fiscal year 2018. Okay, so what is this? Okay, let's watch this. This is a big contention here with people in the real world. Let's just go to the images, okay? Let's just take a look at this. No. 3 reactor. Fukushima No. 3 reactor. That's the one it was, right? Fukushima No. 3 reactor. We may have to say they might only get us now. Okay. This, folks, let's just take a look. This gives you the close-up of what this is. Freaking check this out. Okay, here we go. That is what happened, right? This is what was left over. See this? No. 3 reactor. Let's look at this. Just to remind us. This is why Dana screams and yells. This is why Kevin Blanche is freaking out all the time. And you know what? Like, they want us to believe that this is that. They built a little building around it. It's all neat and tidy. You've watched them build it up there. See, there's the little walls, and then they installed that. Remember, we watched them bring all these parts in. They built for the last 3 years, and finally they get to take it all apart. That's how it is, children. They're nice, neat, and tidy. Except if you went near there, you're going to die. You will die very quickly like that, folks. So tell us how they're going to do this. This is just hilarious. Oh, my goodness gracious. The blob is getting us, man. It's the nuclear taboo. We should write a song. Any songwriters out there? The nuclear taboo. It's the nuclear taboo. It's the nuclear taboo. We should give that song assignment to Lady Halevi. She can come up with a little jingle. The nuclear taboo, where you can't talk about it, that's for sure. And you can't say it caused any illnesses, and you can't say it's on your mind, and you can't think about it being in your food. And you can't think about it being in your water because, as they say, the nuclear, it doesn't go into the groundwater. This lady that was on this pro-nuclear site said her friend who studied radioactive biology and geology said that the radioactive contaminants actually cling to the rocks, and it doesn't go in the groundwater. Now, that might be true for everything except tritium, but I don't believe that's actually a true statement at all. I think that's a false statement. And this is how they're selling it. The nuclear is a safe thing because they're saying, well, when it goes into the ground, it absorbs to the rocks. I read that on her website. I'm like, that's one of the things that made her feel safe. She used to be very anti-nuclear. Now she understands the science. I mean, wow. So here I am, breaking the nuclear taboo, talking about it all. So tomorrow, Dave is going to be on the Age of Fission radio show at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 9 o'clock. Dave from Operation Save the Earth, and he puts out his weekly Fuku Friday videos. And I just hope people take action and continue to speak out in however it is. And I know it's hard to keep going. I know it's hard. We are all having things happen. It's actually getting really serious, which is why I guess I'm here every day now as much as I can. Because we got to break the nuclear taboo, and we got to stop the circular firing squad, and we got to join together as activists, and we got to make it a resounding stop nukes now. And let's look at real science and real facts. If they are going to show us, they're going to make these outrageous remarks, show us their scientific proof that it has no harm to life on our planet. On Earth. Ciao, you guys.